Hello and welcome to Ryno's Orioles Report. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Well, I don't know where all this winning was early in their year, but the Orioles got another sweep, this time of the Pittsburgh Pirates. So you got 3 wins there, 2 wins against the Dodgers, and then 3 wins against the Padres. So in the last 3 series, they have 8 wins total. And they're still, what, 8 games below 500? What? Yeah, man, whatever. I don't get it. Whatever. All right, let's get to these games. As you can see, I'm on MASNsports.com. Game 1, Pittsburgh Pirates 2, Baltimore Orioles 3. This one, final in 11 innings. Both teams got 1 in the first. And then the Orioles, of course, take the lead. And then a few innings later, in the 9th, give it right back. Or give up the lead, anyway. Holiday, 2 hits. Also walked once. Jeremiah Jackson, 2 hits and an RBI. Daniel Johnson coming in a pinch run late. Did get in at bat as the game went a few extra innings. Did not get a hit. Henderson, 0 but he walked once. Mountcastle hit an RBI. Cowser, 0 but he walked once. Okay. Basayo hitting an RBI. Emmanuel Rivera, 0. Mateo, pinch running. Did not get in at bat. Luis Vasquez coming in for a defensive replacement. Not sure I quite get that. I mean, sure. Luis Vasquez is a good fielder. You're saying that Jorge Mateo is not a good fielder? You're really putting a defensive replacement in for Jorge Mateo at third base. Okay. No, I don't, no. Can't say I get that one there. How are you going to use 2 of your extra infielders for 1 guy? Nope, don't get that. That doesn't seem like the right decision at all. I mean, I understand Mateo is really fast, but if you're that concerned about his defense that you won't put him in there at third base, but you put Vasquez, then you should just have Vasquez run for Rivera. Whatever. Dylan Beavers 0 but he walked twice. Kobe Mayo 0 gets pinch hit for late by Dylan Carlson. Because that's better. Though Carlson walks. And because of all the moving around that you did, Dietrich Enns actually becomes a pitcher. Or, I'm sorry. Dietrich Enns, the pitcher, actually becomes the 9th place hitter. Because I can only assume because you wanted Carlson's left from the left side of the plate instead of, let's say, putting Alex Jackson in the pinch hit, which you could have also put Alex Jackson in instead of Dietrich Enns and moved Basayo to first instead of giving up the DH, which, okay. Not sure I like giving up the DH. And it's both of them. Maybe you can understand one of those moves, giving up the DH because you put Mountcastle at first. You use everybody except Alex Jackson. Okay. It does make sense. He is your backup catcher. You don't want him getting much wear and tear, but at the same time with Basayo, he's actually playing a lot less, so kind of would have been nice to get the kid some playing time. But it's fine. It's whatever. Still surprised they're not rolling with 3 catchers, but Jackson, as in Jeremiah Jackson, home run. And then, of course, the Pirates hit him. He appears to be okay, though. He's young. He'll bounce back. Gunnar Henderson, stolen base. Kyle Bradish got to start in this game. This was a quick game. I did go to this game. It was shocking how all of a sudden you look up and holy shit, is the game really this long? Or this old? Wow. Very quick. Kyle Bradish really returning to form here. Going 7 full innings. Now, talking about how good it... You look at the Pittsburgh Pirates, their record is actually worse than Orioles. So, there's that. Alright. But you're supposed to do this to those teams. If anything, you're supposed to score more runs, which you didn't, which is slightly concerning. Kyle Bradish, 7 full innings pitched, does go 4 hits and the 1 run and the 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. But again, 7 full innings pitched means your bullpen only has to cover down on 2. Oh, wait a minute. Your offense kind of screws you, so you have to pitch 11 innings. However, and yes, ignore this because this MASNsports.com/stats/stats page decides to put Dietrich Enns in there twice, so they think it's 13 innings when it's not. Rico Garcia, first man out of the pen, pitching the full 8th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. Yennier Cano in for the 9th inning. Yeah. Blows it again. Especially, very disappointing, especially where he had a few times in the 9th inning where he shut it down. Only able to get 2 outs in the 9th inning, and not before giving up the 1 hit and the 1 run. No walks, no strikeouts. Keegan Aiken coming in to finish off the 9th inning. Like your 2 most experienced arms out there in that damn bullpen. Y'all need to do better than this. Okay? Cano, you giving up the lead. Aiken, you come in. Okay, there's runners on base or 1 runner on base. Nobody cares. Or no, there was no one on base for Keegan Aiken. You can't walk 2 guys. I mean, come on now. What's wrong with you? Pull your head out of your ass. Keegan Aiken only getting 1 out in the 9th inning. No hits, no runs, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. Dietrich Enns being relied on to be the hero or a hero of this game. He only throws 22 pitches and pitches 2 innings, which is really good. So 2 full innings pitched for Dietrich Enns. No hits, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. He got the win in this because Samuel Basallo with his game-winning hit. Jam shot dumped down the left field line. Actually comes down on the line. Now Tommy Pham trying to make a sliding catch. Did it nick his glove? Sure. But it also landed on the line. It's a fair ball. Why it took him that long to review it, I don't know. Because it took him at least 5 minutes of looking at that. And what's also disappointing is a kind of useless challenge earlier in the game. A bit earlier in the game, and the Orioles lost their challenge, so this had to be a crew chief review. Luckily, they did review it. Because you can clearly see the ball coming down on the line. And the stupid idiot-ass umpire wanted to call that a foul ball. What kind of idiot-ass, blind-ass piece of shit are you? I don't care who's got what or how many reviews they have at their disposal. You can't have calls like that. You can't have a ball that, when you look at the video, when you look at 1 second of the video, you can clearly see it hitting the line. How the hell did you fuck that up as an umpire? How? And you know what? I'm pretty sure, unless I misunderstand these rules, if it hits a player in fair territory, and then, as in a fielder, and rolls foul, pretty sure it's a fair ball. Could be wrong. It's possible. But how do you fuck this up as the third base umpire? It's not like it was that far away from you. It really wasn't. I mean, it didn't go towards the wall. It was barely 10 feet past the infield grass. It was not far down the line at all. Very high, very lofty. Pham had a long way to go and almost got there. don't know how you missed it. Yeah. Probably because they realized they shouldn't have missed it. Maybe it was the home plate umpire watching it and then noticed his companion out there called it a foul ball when he was like, that kind of looked like it came down on the line to me. Oh, well, let's crew chief review it then, right? So at least there was one umpire with some fucking sense out there instead of a bunch of dumbass jackasses that think this game revolves around them. Ain't nobody here to see those assholes. Stupid bastards. All right, let's get to game 2. This one also in extra innings. Also via walk-off. Pittsburgh Pirates 1, Baltimore Orioles 2. Holiday hit an RBI, also walked once. Jeremiah Jackson 0 for Emmanuel Rivera, defensive replacement late. Did not get in it back. Gunnar Henderson 0 for Ryan Mountcastle, 1 hit. Basayo 0 for Mateo, pinch running late. Ends up scoring run. Because Basayo was the last out of the inning. He gets placed at second base and like, yeah. No. We're going to put Mateo out there. Cowser 1 hit and a walk. Holy shit. Dylan Carlson a hit. Wow, finally get some playing time. Daniel Johnson 1 hit. He comes in to pinch run. Pinch run for Dylan Carlson. Okay. I mean, whatever, dude. What the hell ever. Johnson does end up getting a hit as he pinch ran a little earlier. Dylan Beavers 2 hits, an RBI, and a walk. He was the hero of this game. With Kobe Mayo on deck. Yeah. Shoots one down the right field line this time. All the fair foul lines involved in this game. In this series. Yay. Way to make it close, boys. Yeah. It was very tough at bat. Very good at bat. You do like to see that. And you almost question, why is Dylan Beavers hitting 8th? Really? No way in hell should he be that far down in the lineup. He deserves to be ahead of Cowser in the lineup. And yeah, well, of course you go with Basayo, Cowser, Carlson, and then Beavers. My only guess is you want some kind of protection for Cowser. And if you sandwich Cowser in between Carlson and Mayo, you feel there's no protection. Okay, that's fine. Whatever. I still feel like Dylan Beavers needs to be further up in the lineup. Now, the problem with that is you got Jackson Holiday, you got Gunnar Henderson, you got Basayo. They're both lefties. Or all three. Excuse me. Excuse me again. So what do you do there? You really can't stack that many lefties up there next to each other. Because then they're just going to bring in a really good lefty out of the bullpen and shut your hitters down. Assuming your hitters don't come through, even though they're facing a lefty. Because honestly, at some point, they're going to have to do that. Especially the way your roster is constructed. Because who the hell is a good right-handed hitter in this damn lineup? Maybe you got Jeremiah Jackson. Okay, cool. Is this, what do you want to call it? Beginner's luck? Too new to there be a book out on him? It's possible. It's entirely possible. Ryan Mountcastle, how much longer is he going to be around? Between Mountcastle and Mayo, are you going to keep both of them for next year? Is Jordan Westburg ever going to get his ass healthy and able to play? Is Tyler O'Neill, who apparently, and we don't really know, but assuming that it is a player option, Tyler O'Neill for another 2 years after this season. Are we ever going to be able to have Westburg and O'Neill in the lineup for an extended amount of time? Poor Kobe Mayo down here. over not getting... It's disappointing, really. I feel like there was a time where he was doing fairly well. And now all of a sudden, I don't know. He's almost, I want to say he's in flail mode. He's pressing really hard and he's really just flailing out there. Not that I am the foremost expert on how to hit Major League pitching, but I feel like he needs to relax more at the plate and start trying to work the count. Instead of flailing around, especially early, work the count, get good pitches. Don't swing at anything. Don't even swing at anything that looks like it's on the edge of the strike zone, because you're not going to do a whole lot with it. Just to try and demonstrate that you have some patience. So maybe it can lead to you getting better pitches to hit. I just think he's too aggressive. All right, moving on. Dylan Beavers, only double. Yeah, did he get 2 doubles, or did they count that one down the line as a double? I don't think he ever reached second base, so I don't think that one would be counted as a double. Maybe, I think it was some other one. I don't even remember. Oh no, because there's a stolen base there. Oh, he walked once. Dylan Beavers, you're on base too much. I'm so confused. And it makes you wonder why, again, why is he 8th? Whatever. Caught stealing for Mr. Beavers. Yeah, you're not that fast. Okay. He ain't slow. I'll give him that. I don't know that I really call him a stolen base guy, but however. Tyler Wells with the start in this one. Yeah. One can only dream of how this season would have gone if Tyler Wells and Kyle Bradish could have been in the rotation the whole year. Only able to go 6 2/3, regretfully, but that's still a very good outing. Only giving up the 1 hit, the 1 run, and the 1 walk, striking out 6, throwing 89 pitches. Sean Dubin, first man out of the pen, only getting 2 outs, as in the final out of the 7th inning and the first out of the 8th inning. Yes, and then 9, yeah. Yes, that is correct. Dubin does give up a hit, but he doesn't give up a run. He also walks somebody, which isn't great, but got the 1 strikeout. He did his job somewhat nicely. Cade Stroud in to finish off the hell inning it says now. 8th inning. Stroud finishing off the 8th inning with, did he have 2 men on? 2 men on for Stroud, and that's why Dubin was yanked. Very good outing for Stroud. It's because there were 2 on. That makes it even better. Hopefully, he can continue to do this. Only threw 7 pitches, which is really good. So Stroud getting his 2 outs, final 2 outs of the 8th inning. No hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. All right. Rico Garcia in for the 9th inning. Pitching the full 9th inning. No hits, no runs. Does walk a batter, but he strikes 1 out. And again, had to go into extra innings because the offense didn't want to do anything except tie it up in the 8th. However, which I guess is where they used one of the pinch runners, didn't they? I still don't get that, though. Why would you pinch run for Dylan Carlson? That doesn't make any sense. That's so stupid. It's a waste of a dude. Whatever. Albert Suarez on for the 10th inning. And again, pitching with that man out there, they call it an extra runner. The extra runner, placed runner. Heard somebody say, was it Kevin Brown? Or somebody maybe on the broadcast say placed runner, extra runner. Orioles doing very good to stop him from scoring since he's already out at second base. But again, it shows you why the Pirates are even further below 500 than the Orioles. You can't get a runner in from second base with no outs. Yeah. Salvador Suarez is full inning, pitched, no hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout. All right. Final game here, Pittsburgh Pirates 2, Baltimore Orioles 3. Yay, series sweep, and we're still 8 games below 500. And again, in the last 9, 8-1. Wow. Jackson Holliday 2 hits, Jeremiah Jackson 1 hit, Dylan Carlson defensive replacement late. Gunnar Henderson hitting a walk. Emmanuel Rivera hitting an RBI. Dylan Beavers hitting an RBI. Colton Cowser over, but he did walk twice. How many walks did Colton Cowser get this series? 4. Cowser walked 4 times. You mean he wasn't swinging away at a changeup? Holy shit. How is that possible? Hopefully that means he's learning something. Hopefully. Besides DHing, Ofer might be playing the kid a little bit too much, but he does have to kind of catch up for lost time or whatever. Alex Jackson starting catcher this game. Ofer, but he walked twice. Kobe Mayo hitting an RBI. Finally. Doing something other than nothing. Yeah, really needs to turn around. I still like his defense at first base, Kobe Mayo. He does need to work on the footwork at first base. I can't remember what series it was. It might have been the Dodgers series. And they're talking about, or we're making note of where his foot is on the bag, and when a throw comes in that is inaccurate. So to a certain extent, it's not even his fault. Can he adjust the foot on the base to better position himself to receive the ball? And no, he really can't. He really can't slide the foot around, which it's whatever. Now, I mean, he's very tall, so he's got the reach, but his footwork isn't great, and honestly, he missed a few balls that I think he should have gotten. Because he missed one, I want to say he missed one here in this game. Now, it was on a double play. I think it was a feed Jackson Holliday to Gunnar Henderson. And Henderson's return throw over there, he throws it wide. Or did Henderson lay out for one and end up throwing it a little wide? Not too wide, but it was off the bag. I swear it was this game. They didn't give him a throwing error. I guess it was because it was... I wouldn't even say it was up the middle. I mean, it was up the middle, but more on the second base part of the bag. Henderson lays out for it, makes a great stop. Not the greatest throw, but at the same time, I expect my first baseman to catch that ball. Was the bounce in a somewhat... Sometimes intentionally, fielders will bounce the ball to their first baseman. Just because a lot of times, especially if you bounce it in the right spot, it can be easier to scoop. This one almost kind of felt like it was, but instead of being able to scoop it, Mayo kind of more stabs at it. So if you think about, like, say, a bat and it threw, right, at some point... you should be able to catch the ball. But if you just stab at it, assuming you can even tell what the hell I'm trying to do here, your chances of getting the ball will be a little less. And I do feel like Mayo stabbed at it a little more than scooped at it. Now, at the same time, this was the back of the first base bag, more towards the outfield instead of, let's say, towards home plate. So being right-handed, he has his glove on his left hand. He's kind of reaching way far over, so it's kind of a backhanded attempt. A little harder to scoop it, but certainly doable. Harder, sure, but doable. And Mayo just didn't do it. So it's somewhat concerning that it does seem like his defense is on the decline. But at the same time, I feel like he's not getting any days off, which you would think, oh, he's a young kid. He can just go out there and play every day. Sure. Oh, and he's only playing first base. Yeah, but if you see the play in a decline like it is, he probably could benefit from a day off. And he's just not getting it. Did he play first base every game? Yeah, he started at first base every game. I think maybe they should back off on that. Henderson double. Good for him. Kowser Holiday with stolen bases. Cade Povich getting the start in this game. Good outing by Cade Povich. Was, we'll say, a little shaky at times. This was definitely a game that the Pirates offense was trying to break out. Luckily, they couldn't. Povich going 5 2/3 of an inning, doesn't give up the 5 hits and the 2 runs and the 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, which is very good. And more strikeouts than innings pitched. That's always a good thing. Defense did play relatively well behind him, and the bullpen came in and bailed him out. Yennier Cano in. Yeah, Yennier Cano, first man out of the pen in the 6th inning. Okay. Well, you got a man on. That's, yeah. You want to stop their momentum right now. Logical. But at the same time, here's Cano. It's like, throw him in the 7th inning or the 8th inning, otherwise he kind of sucks. Whatever. He did end up getting out of this inning. Only the one out, the final out of the 6th inning, does give up a hit in the meantime. So yeah, with 2 runners on, at the end of the inning with 2 runners on, no hits, no walks. I'm sorry. Does give up the 1 hit. I just said there were 2 runners on. Does give up 1 hit, but no runs and no walks, which there's the really positive there, and the 1 strikeout. Grant Wolfram in for the 7th inning. Pitching the full 7th inning, does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, and 1 strikeout. I think every member of the bullpen pitched in this game, in this series as well. So it was nice to see that happen. Who was it? Dubin, Stroud, Garcia, Suarez. Stroud went back-to-back. What the hell is the other guy? Enns? Enns is the other guy. And then the 6-man rotation. Yeah, Wolfram was the last one. They got him in this game, which is good. Something I harp on. You just can't have these guys getting or going 2-3 days without getting in there. And really, Wolfram did, because there was an off day Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday didn't pitch because yesterday was Thursday. So 3 full days off. I think that's too much. I do. But what do I know? Right? Cade Stroud in for the 8th inning. A little shaky, but he gets through it. Pitching the full 8th inning, doesn't give up a hit, no runs, does walk a batter, strikes 2 out. Only 13 pitches. Which is... Wait. That doesn't make sense. 13 pitches. So for a walk, 1 on 1 pitch for the hit, that would be 5. You got 8 pitches to play with getting 2 strikeouts. 13 pitches? He faced 5 batters. Wow. I feel like I remember the inning being fairly quick. I didn't think it was so few. 13. A walk and a hit, and then 2 strikeouts, and they got another out somewhere. Sometimes you just get lucky. Did I say his line? Yeah, a hit and a walk for Stroud, striking out too. It's very good. Guy really got that two-seamer working. Good thing Bradish came back when he did. Keegan Aiken in for the 9th inning, getting his 5th save of the year. Little shake is where he's seen recently from a lot of pitchers. Does give up a hit, but no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout for Keegan Aiken. So good job there. Oh, wow. Taking that long? All right, let's get to some articles. Write this shit up and get out of here. I did write down some notes just so I remember this stuff. Here, this article here, written by Rock Kabatko. This was a few days ago, talking about Blewett and Selby. So Scott Blewett, Scott Blewett, not Blewett. Blewett has, at least as of this point, has pitched 2 outings in, is it Norfolk? Two outings on his rehab assignment. So he should be somewhat close to being able to come back. Will he come back? I don't know. The status of some of the guys in the bullpen, I don't know who's got options. Cano, I guess, still has options. And do you really want to get rid of anybody else for Blewett? I mean, maybe. Yeah, I mean, that's a tough one because I don't know that you can send Dubin down. I mean, Dubin was claimed off waivers. So was Garcia. I don't think you can send them away. Wolfram, I think, is in the same boat that throws 3 of them. You can't. Now, Enns you're traded for, but he's one of the better ones, so why would you dump him? Suarez hasn't been back long enough, so if anything, the only options I think, if you wanted to get Blewett back up here, would be Cano or Aiken. But do you really, for Scott Blewett, I don't know. I don't really know what they're going to do, and I don't know what they should do at this point. It's going to be a tough decision, I think, really. Also, Colin Selby should start a rehab assignment later this week. This article here, also written by Rock Kabatko, also a few days ago, talking about Dean Kramer and Tomoyuki Sagano, who both exited their last starts with an injury. Sagano taking the ball off the foot, Kramer with some kind of forearm discomfort. Now, again, as of this article, when this article was written, dinner time was September 9th. The plan is for Sagano to actually make his next turn in the rotation and for Dean Kramer to be skipped. And as far as I can tell, that is still the plan even a few days later. But it does appear that neither one will, that's not what I wanted, will need to, will need to have an injury list. Or neither Sagano nor Kramer will need to go on the injury list. Alright, this article here, also go by Rock Kabatko, was written also a few days ago, talking about Gary Sanchez, who is on his rehab assignment. Did his first game right around here. Single and a home run, which is nice and all, but again, well, shit, like, what are you going to do with him? What do you do with him? I mean, if you can keep him on the rehab assignment as long as you can, really. Because right now, I mean, who do you care about getting back on this ball club? Westberg, for sure. Rutschman, maybe. Other than that, no. I don't know that I care. I mean, because who would you have to send away to get Blewett or Selby back? Who do you have to send away to get Sanchez back? So, I don't think Alex Jackson can be optioned anyway. You can DFA him, but why? looks like there's so much upside from the kid. So, no. And Sanchez, yeah. Okay, fine. He hit fine. But at the same time, nah, I'm good. We're not trying to win no more. I don't care about Gary Sanchez. He's not going to be here next year. Of course, at the same time, I'm sure every other team in the league is saying, no, do something with him, because I'm sure they could just end up cutting him or waiving him or whatever exactly the term is. And then another team, let's say a playoff team, could easily pick him up. But that's the way it is. All right, this article here by Rock Kabatko, which is, I guess, coming out with news that I almost feel like I knew about it or something, but maybe it's possible I didn't. Though, honestly, I think based on the actions and what happened in the offseason or what happened closer to the start of the season, makes total sense. Because I think most of us were thinking that Mike Elias was a vice president of some kind, executive vice president, whatever the hell that means. What's the difference between a vice president? I probably should know. That's why I said a vice president and the general manager. But turns out he's really president of baseball operations. Step above all that. So, how many hats was Mike Elias wearing in the offseason? President of baseball operations, executive vice president of baseball, or whatever, executive vice president of something. Just says promoted from executive vice president / general manager. So he's an executive vice president. He's a president of baseball operations. He's also the general manager. That sounds like a lot to do on your own. It really does. And you know what? I think it showed. But you're right, it's all Brandon Hyde's fault, so let's fire Brandon Hyde. Yeah, that's disappointing. I guess Hyde's sight truly is 2020. Yeah. I mean, that's fine. Look, that's fine. You want to make Mike Elias your president of baseball operations and then go get another GM in the offseason. That's fine to a certain extent. Especially with the way the things turned out now. That makes a lot of sense. Hire a GM. And then you go find a manager. And then you have an ownership group that has essentially hired Mike Elias. Because they hired him to be the president of baseball operations. And then you have a GM that was hired by Mike Elias and hired by the owners, the current owners. You would also have the same thing for a manager. It's not exactly the wrong way to do things. Again, towards this offseason. At the same time, you kind of put yourself behind the 8 ball to start this season. To start the season from hell. Where everybody got injured. And yes, Sagano and Kramer apparently will miss the injured list. They're 2 of the only 3 that didn't have to go from your initial roster. Yeah. You definitely didn't do yourselves any favors in this offseason. But luckily for you, you get another chance. So don't fuck it up this time, idiots. Alright, speaking of injury list, welcome back again for Tyler O'Neill. Hopefully, your ass doesn't need to go on the injury list again. Daniel Johnson, sorry, but goodbye for now. Which, to a certain extent, kind of makes sense because it really just seems illogical to have Carlson and Daniel Johnson on the same roster. they both seem to fit into that same archetype of speedster / defender. So, why do you need two of them? This is really what you need. Power hitting right-handed guy. That's what you need. Carlson, switch hitter, okay. Daniel Johnson, left-handed hitter. Which, you really don't need any more left-handed hitters. But at the same time, the Orioles need to go on some kind of crazy ass run. I was doing the math the other day. You can look at it right here. Man, what do they need? 16 games left. They need to go. I want to say 13-3 to have a chance. But even if they go 13-3, I think they still might miss it. In all likelihood, they need to win out. I mean, if they win out, they got a really good shot. But even if they win out, they're probably really close to being mathematically eliminated. I'm not sure yet. All right, let's get this schedule, wrap this shit up, and get out of here. And no, this is not ESPN.com. Holy shit. Yeah, everybody, give it up for the people running MassonSports.com. They finally fixed the schedule. Congratulations. And there's even a drop-down menu here. You can look at MLB regular season for 2025. Oh, well, I could probably look at 2026 now. Nope, it's for spring training 2025. Hey, man. Whatever y'all want. Let's get way down here. Way down here. Only got 5 series left. Yes, one of them being a 4-game set with the Yankees. All right. Got the Blue Jays coming up. They should be in Toronto. Excuse me. They should be in Toronto already. I hope so, anyway. Tonight, Friday night's game, scheduled 7:07. Just because they got to do the American and the United States and the Canadian national anthem. That's why they do the 7s, I guess. That makes sense. Saturday's game scheduled 3:07. Sunday's game scheduled 1:37. You can't give us some different times so we can watch our football? Go away on Sunday, baseball. Stupid bastards. Whatever. And then no off day. No off day between the Pirates and the Blue Jays series. No off day between the Blue Jays and the White Sox series. Whatever. Whatever. That's going to do it for this edition of Ryno's Orioles Report. Please stay tuned for Monday, and I will discuss the series between the Baltimore Orioles and the Toronto Blue Jays. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. I am the Angry Ryno, and this is Birdland.